Hello and welcome to episode number 5 of the Unit 42 Beyond the Hunt series. My name is Ryan with Palo Alto Networks Unit 42 Managed Threat Hunting. If you're not yet familiar with this series, please go back and check out episode number 1. That's where we kind of lay the groundwork for what it is that we're doing here. For those of you who are already in the know or those who just want to delve into some of these threats, this is a continuation of episode number 4. We're going to finish going over the active campaigns report that we sent to our clients for March of 2024. Let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at in this episode. First up, we have hunting unmanaged hosts. We also have a deep dive into the Fortinet FORTA client EMS SQL injection incident. And then we have attacks on critical infrastructure via a group known as Insidious Taurus, aka Volt Typhoon. Let's take a look first at unmanaged hosts. So what is an unmanaged host? An unmanaged host is a host where we don't have an agent. And this isn't just for our platform. This is going to apply to whatever the heck you may have, EDR, XDR wise, right? So let me give you an example here. We have an example right here of a command that is being invoked remotely from a private IP address. And in this case, what we do is we look for private IP addresses that are invoking commands where we don't have an agent name associated with them. And that's what these hunting queries are basically all about. So if we have, in our case, we have the action is something that is being done. The actor is the parent process, essentially. And then causality is the thing that's causing all of this to occur. So if the causality is basically not mapping to an agent name, that tells us it's a remote IP address where there's no agent. So you can do this in your own environment also, but it's basically just something we want to show to our clients to give them a heads up. Hey, maybe it's a license issue. Maybe it's a rogue or a shadow IT type of issue where there's just some device out there that's like, hey, I'm going to run remote commands. And you're like, okay. So whatever it might be, a really good way of identifying these devices is to look to see if their IP address that is invoking the remote commands does not map to an agent name. Next up, we're going to take a look at a Fortinet FORTA client EMS SQL injection. This is known as CVE 2023 48788. And it was divulged in March of 2024. And there was a proof of concept that came out. And the royal we at Unit 42 found an incident in which case Screen Connect, which is a remote monitoring and management agent, I should say, an RMM utility, was installed. By the way, this is a really good time to mention, if you have RMMs you use in your environment, say you use Screen Connect or AnyConnect or Splashtop or whatever it is, but you don't use the others, this is a great time to block those and to alert upon those when they're installed or attempted to be installed. You want to thwart threat actors being able to use them, because many threat actors, and especially including ransomware actors, are trying to use those these days, and you don't want that to happen. So there were a number of ways in which this particular Screen Connect was downloaded. One of them was directly via cert util, and one was via a PowerShell command. So it was a bit redundant, but the threat actor really wanted to get Screen Connect within that environment. If you take a look down here, we see what it looks like in our XDR suite when the agent is installed, basically, when it's downloaded via cert util and then installed using MSI exec. We have some hunting queries that show things like when the SQL server.exe process, which will be the parent process if this particular Fortinet FORTA client server system is compromised, when it's trying to run things like PowerShell, MSI exec, or curl via command.exe/c. We also have some hunts that we've provided to our client base that shows how to identify vulnerable versions of the Fortinet FORTA client software. So if you want to learn more about this, we actually have a great GitHub repo where we have some IOCs, indicators of compromise. So check that out, and we'll include the link in the description of this video. Next up, we have attacks on critical infrastructure that we covered with our clients. by a group known as Insidious Taurus, aka Volt Typhoon. So there is a CISA report, which is this guy right here. The link will also be in the description. And I can scroll forever down, up and down this thing. It goes on forever. It's very long. But one thing I want to show you is this right here. So what they try to do is they run reconnaissance, they exploit a vulnerability for initial access, and then basically they attain administrator credentials and then RDP into a system. And then what they like to do is extract the ntds.dit file, which is the Active Directory database, and then the associated, for that particular system registry hive, which allows them to unlock that database, basically. So this particular group is, well, it's insidious, hence the name. We have an article on our Unit 42 blog called Threat Brief, Attacks on Critical Infrastructure attributed to Insidious Taurus, aka Volt Typhoon. And in this article, we give a breakdown of exactly what it is they do, how they do their thing, how they navigate environments and things of that nature. We also include a number of additional threat hunting queries. These are specific to our Cortex XDR suite, but again, it's kind of easy to map these to whatever you might be using. So yes, we'd love you to move over to our stuff, right? Like, hey, we're great. But at the same time, if you look at these and identify, well, okay, if netsh or command.exe is running a command line that includes that right there, that might be utilization of port proxy, and that could be related to this group. So make sure you check out these hunting queries. They're very, very useful. Another example is, for example, the use of ntdsutil in order to dump out the ntds.dit database. So there's a number of these queries in here, but I will digress because that is the end of this particular episode. If you have not done so, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes. And if you would like to learn more about Unit 42 MDR and or MTH, please check out the link in our video description. Again, my name is Ryan with Palo Alto Networks Unit 42 Managed Threat Hunting, and I will see you next time.